pressures from this team early on, so it's just kind of been a plug and place for Clemson over the last couple of weeks or so. The tip goes out of bounds, and it will be Wake Forest basketball to start.
The one thing you know about Amanda Butler is the culture here is solid, and she has built an incredible foundation. And it's about toughness, and it's about defense. So this is going to be an unpredictable defensive effort by Clemson. You don't know when the traps are coming. It might come off some ball screen action, but it's going to be aggressive on this end of the floor for the team in white.
Saw that aggression from Amari Robinson there on Olivia Sumiel. Nice move in the paint from Nia Becker, the 6'2 junior out of Winnipeg, and Wake gets on the board first here.
And this is a Wake Forest team that is playing with a ton of confidence coming off that loss to Duke because they played so well. And Jewel Spear had 27 points in that losing effort on the road. She's going to need another big number today.
Alicia Washington blows by Kaya Harrison. Couldn't finish at the rim, though. And here comes Harrison in the break. Opts to slow it up at least momentarily. And here is the aforementioned Jewel Spear immediately firing away from beyond the arc and can't connect. And another nice move from Washington, had it blocked from behind, and she's down slow to get up. Numbers for Wake Forest here. Nia Becker thought about the three, gets back to Harrison for three. No good, 0 for 2 start for the Demon Deeks from long range.
Hannah Hank got to be ready to pull the trigger from the top of the floor. That's where she is an excellent three-point shooter as a trail post or in their middle third pick and roll game, but she can pop.
Nunu Bradford takes it to the hole, and she can't convert, and a whistle underneath going the other way.
Nia Becker does a good job of attacking the defense and getting to the midline, spinning back to her strong hand to be able to finish. And this is just another great play defensively. Becker getting back, hustling to make that play. I think Washington's got to finish that.
No question, she's had some opportunities, and she also has had some slow starts to games this year. She only had 2 points in the win against UVA on Sunday in the first half, had 21 in the second half. Here's Christina Morra on the block. Good defense from Hannah Hank there. Gets it back to Becker from the elbow, and she floats it in.
Yeah.
All 4 points to Nia Becker for Wake Forest.
Tell you what, Sam, Becker looks comfortable. She looks confident, and that's her game. She doesn't have the green light outside the three-point line, but she does inside, and she's capable of scoring in that mid-range.
Coming off back-to-back double-digit scoring games for Nia Becker is Maddie Ott, finds Hannah Hank at the free throw line. The defense, Morra. Robinson, baseline jumper, swish.
Mari Robinson doing a good job of stepping out into the short corner and alleviating some of that pressure in the paint. She's got a good face-up game, but she also has an excellent post-up game.
And an offensive foul. The elbow seemed to be up near the face of Nunu Bradford there.
Now follow the team number 14, Nia Becker. It's her first and the team's first.
Because of the foul and the upgrade, anyone can shoot the free throws. That's why Maddie Ott is on the line.
All righty. What a college hoop doubleheader we have for you tonight right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Starting with the women, Elisa Canane, number 5 NC State, taking on Boston College at Conti Forum. That's going to be at 6 Eastern. Then Paolo Banchero and number 7 Duke are in town. That's right, they are in town tonight in Little John Coliseum, squaring off against Clemson, and Debbie will be on that call as well. So double duty for Debbie today.
What a day, Sam. I get to work with you this afternoon, and I get to work with Mike Cousins later tonight in the Duke-Clemson game.
We'll get more into that as our game rolls on. So Maddie Ott makes both, all tied up 4-4. Clemson with the ball. Maddie Ott on the post, puts one up to the left hand and rolls right off. But it will stay with the Tigers here.
Well, Clemson is getting the ball where they want to be able to score. They're getting it in the paint. They've got to finish off some of those plays.
And an offensive foul. It's going against number 2 Nunu Bradford, the sophomore guard. A little full court press here from Clemson. Talk about their defense. That's something that Amanda Butler really prides herself on and wants her team to get a little bit better at.
Well, their full court press is to try to speed you up. Their quarter court pressure is to turn you over.
Nia Becker can't miss today. She's got all 6 for Wake Forest.
Well, Jen Hoover has been looking for someone else to help carry some of the scoring load besides Jewel Lloyd.
Nunu Bradford shot in and out. And back the other way goes Wake Forest. Here's Jewel Spear. Drives the paint. Nice dump down to Morra, but an offensive foul is called on Jewel Spear.
Can I call her Jewel Lloyd? I was thinking Jewel Lloyd while I'm watching her play. I think she's got some Jewel Lloyd qualities to her. A great All-American at Notre Dame. This is a great play defensively. Stepping outside the three-point or the restricted area to be able to finish that off defensively.
Tell you what, I've called a couple of Clemson games. Hannah Hank has taken about 5 charges in the last 3 games. She always is in that right place. Kaya Harrison quickly up the floor from behind. Nunu Bradford is called to the foul.
Harrison puts it in another gear up the floor. Playing in transition defensively is one of the hardest things to do, and this is a great take right here by Harrison to put some pressure on Clemson in the full court.
It's going to be the second on Nunu Bradford, so keep an eye on that. She'll head to the bench, and Kiana Gaines, the freshman, will check in, number 15 in white. Harrison 1 for 2 at the line, and Delisha Washington elevates for the rebound. Washington does so much for this team, leads them in scoring, rebounding, and assists. Here's Kiana Gaines, will try for 3. And that's no good. Clemson struggling to find the bottom of the barrel here today. Nia Becker kicks for 3, and Spear travels.
Really nice job closing out to the skip pass by Clemson defensively to force Jewel Spear to play a little faster than what she wants to play. And Jewel Spear didn't shoot the ball well in this first meeting, which Clemson won. And I went back and watched all of her field goal attempts on Synergy yesterday because I was curious, Sam, like, you know, who defended her? Who did they do a good job on her? I thought Clemson's defense overall sped her up.
Hannah Hank ends an 0 for 4 streak from the floor for Clemson there and gets them back within 1. There's that trap from Clemson, able to find a backdoor. Nia Becker, who's got 8 points.
Really good execution by Wake Forest. Very well prepared for the trap on an on-ball screen. Jen Hoover was telling me before the game we worked on making that second pass out of that trap. That's the one that's going to be open.
Washington, a long 3, tough shot, and Jewel Spear gets it in the open floor. There's Elise Williams, who recently has checked into the game, second leading scorer for Wake Forest with 9 a game. There's that trap again. A lot of space there in between those players. Harrison on the drive. She gets bumped by Hannah Hank.
Watch the movement by Wake Forest on the offensive end, knowing they're going to get this double team. So it's a stretch dribble, and then it's a bounce pass to the high post and a backdoor cut. It's very well executed. It is a tremendous job by Jen Hoover and her team being ready for that ball screen defense.
Wake Forest starting this game 4 for 6 from the field. And Harrison at the free throw line once again. Next on the first.
I like when teams trap. If I'm a guard and I can stretch that trap and pull it away from the bucket just a little bit and be able to see and read and make a play.
Jen Hoover's bringing a little pressure herself with her team. Harrison on Mattiot there. 11-6 in the first quarter. Shot clock winding down. 8 now for Delisha Washington. Washington, tough drive and a finish.
She is a hard driver to the paint. And she's long and she's athletic. She's got incredible hops. outstanding athleticism, and she's determined to get to the rim.
First points of the game for the leading scorer. She's averaging just about 16 a game for the Tigers. And an open shot for Jewel Spear. A lot of room there for the leading scorer in the conference.
Boy, she can see a big basket. She can fill it up. This game can turn quickly for Clemson.
Wake Forest for the last 4 from the floor. Kiana Gaines able to get by Spear, and she got fouled going up.
The strength of Amanda Butler's players off the bounce is outstanding. That was a terrific rescreen in the middle third of the floor by Hannah Hank to free up Gaines. Wide open. A miscommunication and a mistake defensively to leave the ACC's leading scorer that open outside the arc.
So it's Kiki Gaines at the line, freshman from Columbus, Georgia. Missed some time this year due to injury, but I was able to be on the call when she kind of had a breakout game against Georgia Tech a week and a half ago. Dropped 18 points, and she looked unstoppable.
Sam, she's out here grabbing the rim in warm-ups.
Right.
Like she's almost ready to dunk. And she's, I got her listed at 5'9". Is that right? Because she looks like she's about 5'9".
I think you're right there, and I think that she's a player that a lot of people are going to learn about in the coming years in this conference. Alexandria Scruggs into the game for Wake Forest, as well as Eno Inyang, number 1, the freshman for Clemson. Here's Spear showing off her driving skills, and she will go to the line to shoot too. Both Washington and Spear can really get to the hole.
Yeah, and if you're Amanda Butler, you want to put Delisha Washington on this matchup as much as you can to try to affect the number of shots she gets. You can't stop her completely, but you can make it challenging for her and make it tough on her and make her work.
First foul on Eno Inyang as Spear connects on the first free throw. Spear shooting 82% from the line this year and makes both. She also averages 3 threes a game, which leads the conference. Some of her numbers are just video game numbers.
I mean, she takes 8 threes a game. That's a lot.
I'd say so. That's about as green of a light as you can get. Veronica Hip into the game. The skip pass over to Washington. Nice fake.
You know what? That is just Delisha Washington making a play because Wake Forest executed that perfectly. They got the X out on the weak side. They made sure they were contested. But Delisha Washington can put it on the bounce to get by anybody in the ACC.
Spear got Gaines in the air. The floater won't go.
I'd go right back to that same set.
And Yang, top of the key. Robinson trying to create space underneath. Here's Kiki Gaines. Free throw line extended and rattles one home.
Kiki Gaines with the McDonald's All-American Ruby Whitehorn coming in next year. A couple of really good pieces for Clemson and Amanda Butler. First McDonald's All-American ever in Clemson's history next year. If you're watching, Ruby, we're looking forward to seeing you in an ACC uniform. It's going to be fun. This is the ball movement I'm talking about. Hard hedge, tag the roller, X out on the backside. You come with a long closeout. Not on Delisha Washington. You got to come with a little bit shorter closeout, even though she has made 13 threes in conference play. I'd make her hit some before I let her drive by me.
So the second foul on Jewel Spear. 2 fouls on Nunu Bradford, the point guard for Clemson. 2 on Spear now with 1:32 left to go in the first quarter. Maddie Ott picked up the dribble, able to find Enyang. Washington kind of waiting in that corner there. Enyang a long 2 off the back iron. It's going to go Wake Forest way. Last touch by Robinson there.
Scruggs and Robinson really working hard in the paint for position. That's what you call a good old-fashioned foot fight inside.
minute to go. Kaya Harrison with Wake Forest with a 2-point lead. Alexandria Scruggs connects.
I said this on the game Sunday night about Scruggs in the Duke game. I'm waiting for her to have a big game. I mean, she has shown glimpses of being able to produce at a high level. She missed almost a month because she had some concussion issues, but I think she is a big-time piece of what Wake Forest does. As Washington gets to the rim.
The nickname from Amanda Butler for Delisha Washington is WIP, work in progress. And the relationship goes all the way back to their Florida days when Coach Butler was the head coach at Florida. And the work in progress seems to be almost coming to completion as she is a complete player. Foul there, though.
That's one she can't commit. She's got to have a little more discipline. I know she's aggressive. She's exciting. She just scored. She's getting some play at the rim on the offensive end. That's her game. But you come down here, you can't gamble. You got to make sure, especially not early. You can gamble later, second half, if you don't have a bunch of fouls.
Wake Forest into the bonus, so we will shoot now. Olivia Sumiel waits to check in for Wake Forest. No question, though, this is the start that Coach Jen Hoover wanted to see from her crew on the road in the first quarter.
Well, they lost by 22 the first time these two teams met, right? And Amanda Butler wasn't able to coach the game. She was in health and safety protocol, so Joy Cheek coached the game.
2 to shoot for Amari Robinson. Decides to take it on the drive and will not connect. So Wake Forest, after the first quarter, leads by 3. But Delisha Washington, Debbie, has been just fantastic all year.
Consecutive game in double figures.
She will start this second quarter on the bench. She does have 2 fouls, so keep an eye on that. There's Robinson's strong finish at the rim.
A lot of contact. I like it. Let them play. Patient. Have a patient whistle around the rim right there.
Robinson's got 4. That brings the Tigers now within 1. Christina Morra with the left hand.
Good take. Good job of reading the defense. Drawing 2. Harrison's handling that double very well. Wake Forest has only turned it over 2 times. Clemson only 1.
It was a relatively clean first quarter aside from that intentional foul from Becker, but there's Scruggs intercepting the pass, now in the paint, and she gets fouled. Nice little up and under there. You saw Jewel Spear getting worked on a little bit there. That Theragun.
That thing is magic.
It is, right?
Yes.
Scruggs misses the first. Keep in mind, we got another college hoop triple header for you Saturday right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. We're featuring the second game that starts at 5 Eastern between Paolo Banchero, number 7 Duke, and Boston College, led by the Langford brothers, Makai and DeMar. Blue Devils have won 5 straight and 16 of 17 against the Eagles. Kick to the corner. Hannah Hank cashes a 3.
Nice job spacing to the deep corner. Hannah Hank very capable of knocking down that triple.
Wake Forest trying to answer here. Christina Morra on the post. Puts up a tough shot there, and Veronica Hipp leading the break for Clemson. 3-on-3.
Oh, that's a tough pass.
Trying to find Robinson streaking down the paint. Williams now with a floater from the elbow.
That's a couple of back-to-back turnovers that has allowed Wake Forest to get transition points.
First foul on Kai Harrison. Delisha Washington checks back in.
Actually, it's 2 turnovers and a 3 in the last 3 possessions for Clemson.
Hannah Hank has turned herself into a 3-point shooter. She wasn't one when she arrived on campus. She only had a total of 6 threes over the last 2 seasons. Now got 19 this season. There she is in the corner again. The quick trigger for Hannah Hank comes up a bit short that time.
Wake playing zone that possession.
Harrison on the left-hand drive. And a friendly roll on the road for Kaya Harrison, who's got 5 in the game.
There are times you look at Wake Forest and you say, they are 2-10 in the league. You know, and the same thing with Amanda Butler.
Yep.
A lot of close games.
Coach Butler able to get a timeout there as she saw what you saw, Debbie. Just a couple of turnovers in the last minute or so as Wake Forest leads by 5. Coach Butler will talk it for fans to see, because it is so tight over there and you do not have a lot of room for error. But like you said, we have seen some players step out. Nice drive there from Nunu Bradford as she finishes.
Well, when you go to the corner, you can flatten out the defense, right? You have to seek the defense has to seek the lowest level of player. And so if you get over there on a skip pass, your feet are already set. But if you pass the ball from the wing and relocate down to the corner, it is a different set of footwork to get to that deep corner to be able to catch and shoot.
Just the 3rd turnover for Wake Forest this afternoon. Both teams with 3. It's been pretty clean. Clemson down by 3. Leading scorer, Delisha Washington, was 6. Looking for more here. Got fouled from behind by Harrison. It's going to be her 2nd.
Really good execution off the timeout by Amanda Butler. Here's the skip to the corner. Again, the closeout comes a little bit long and forcing baseline. There's supposed to be help from Wake Forest on that drive, but their help is late getting there.
Couple of players with 2 fouls for Wake Forest. You got Spear with 2, Harrison with 2, and Nia Becker with 2. Still 7 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter as Delisha Washington makes both free throws.
Well, I think if you're Jen Hoover, you trust your sophomore, Jules Spear, who is a young sophomore yet, has played a lot of minutes, so she's got a lot of experience. Clemson falls back into his zone.
Eight to shoot. Morra on the elbow. Spear, a long 3. Rattles off, and Nunu Bradford quickly out in transition. Wake Forest wanted to travel there. They might have had a case. Maddie Yacht, long 3, goes out of bounds.
That was a logo 3 for Maddie Yacht.
This is a player that Jen Hoover wants to see a lot more out of, is Elise Williams. Talented freshman, high ceiling. She honestly might get overlooked at times because Jules Spear takes up so much of the attention from opponents, but 2nd leading scorer on this team as Scruggs misses the 3 there.
Hannah Hank doing work here in this 1st half. Washington rejects the drag screen and drives baseline. I'd be playing off that drag right here with Hank because she has that ability to pop. We've already seen her hit that 1-3 in the corner.
Kiki Gaines will check in for Maddie Yacht after the officials get together. Indeed, last touched by Wake Forest. Demira Hines will come in for the first time. And down to Bradford. Clemson trailing by 1. Robinson double teamed on the post, and an offensive foul. Jules Spear was right there to absorb that contact.
Mari Robinson, so physical on the block, does all the work to get the catch.
What do you think?
I mean, she's outside the restricted area. There was some contact.
scoring drought of 2+ minutes and a turnover there for Wake Forest. Transition 3 for Bradford, no good. Kiki gains the offensive board, puts it back up and in. And another turnover. Washington reading the defense right now. Washington gets fouled on her shot by Scruggs. A little shift in momentum here, a 6-0 run for Clemson.
I mean, this is the way Clemson needs to play in transition. Is they're quick, they're athletic, great hustle by Gaines on the O boards. And then Washington makes a play defensively. That's where she can manufacture points to get to the line and give her team a chance to set their press.
Clemson might struggle to get results this year, but they are at the top of the conference in offensive rebounding. They rank 3rd in the ACC in total offensive rebounds this year. Hannah Hank, a foul a long way from the basket. That'll be her second.
13th foul. In the game for the Tigers, number 3, Michaela Elmore.
Michaela Elmore into the game for Clemson as they lead by 1. It's another trap and another good break, but Scruggs just couldn't finish. Point-blank range there. It's going the other way.
One of the things Jen Hoover talked to us about was poise inside the defensive chaos that Clemson tries to create. I think Wake Forest has done a very good job of handling the multiple looks that Amanda Butler has brought.
A couple of fakes from Washington, but won't be able to convert. Is it a matter of Clemson closing too slow, or is Wake Forest just set for those?
I think Wake Forest has had good looks. I don't think they've taken a bad shot. They've managed stretching the double. They've made the right reads. They're just going to make more shots. Part of that is by design to speed them up and not let them get comfortable. They're not just going to be able to pass the ball around the perimeter and shoot it. I mean, Clemson's done a good job of mixing it up.
Kiki Gaines, floater in the paint.
Now that's athletic. That would be gorgeous off the bounce.
Elise Williams gets her own board, kicks out to Spear. And it's tough to ask if that's a bad shot because she makes so many of them,
yeah,
but with a fresh shot clock, I don't think
it's not a bad shot.
I don't think anyone has problems with it.
No. I don't have a problem with it because she leads the league in scoring. I don't think she takes bad shots.
Nice help defense there from Williams. Olivia Sumiel has to adjust midair. And it goes out of bounds. Will stay with Wake Forest. They're going to make some substitutions here.
Look at that crossover into the lane, elevate over the top. That's a tough 2 right there by Gaines.
Demon Deacons 0 for the last 7. Inyang whistled for the foul. It's going to be her second.
Back in the game, number 5, Amari Robinson, and number 12, Hannah Hank. Nia Becker at the line, shooting 2.
Nia Becker had a great first quarter, got into some early foul trouble, but still leading the way with 8 now 9 points for Wake Forest. Two for 2 at the line there.
Well, that's 10 points again. 3 consecutive games for Becker in double digits. Wake Forest brings some trapping defense.
Robinson with the left hand. Jamira Hines, strong rebound there. 3-on-2 for Wake Forest. Harrison to Scruggs. Up and in.
Good finish. Now, when I watch Jamira Hines play, I think She could be the Oscar Tshiebwe of the ACC.
I like that comparison.
Right?
Yeah.
Strong, rebounds, understands her role, loves to rebound. Look at this, 2 hands, goes up with 2 hands. Okay, if that's a foul on her, that's okay with me because of how aggressive she's playing. You don't like to see her get a foul, but I love the bounce. I love the commitment. I'm telling you. People don't know who Oscar Tshiebwe is. He's the center for the Kentucky men, and he's averaging 15 rebounds a game. And when he came to Kentucky out of the transfer portal, he told Coach Cal he was going to average 20 rebounds a game.
Started at West Virginia, now doing great things for Kentucky. As Amari Robinson shoots 2. Makes the first. Tonight, 10 Eastern, after our women's basketball doubleheader, the women's Nothing But Net crew going to break down the night in the ACC with highlights and analysis of every women's game and look ahead at the best matchups on schedule for the coming week. And then Saturday, 9 Eastern time, after a full day of men's, the men's Nothing But Net crew going to do the exact same thing. We'll be right here on the ACC network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. 31-30, Clemson with a narrow lead, and a kick is called. Went off of Nunu Bradford's foot. Well, back and forth we go, Debbie. Both these teams battling. And another steal. This time it's Kiki Gaines. Gaines, an extra burst into the open floor.
That is speed right there. You see her push the ball out and go get it?
Gets Clemson's lead back to 3. Spear. Contact there, no whistle. And Hank picks up the rebound. Washington surveying the floor, opts to take it herself. No good, and Kaya Harrison looking to push now. Spear on the open floor. It's an easy 2, probably the easiest 2 she'll find today.
So Delisha Washington misses a layup at the rim, and Wake Forest gets an uncontested one on the other end. See, Washington can go wherever she wants with the ball. But when she gets that deep into the paint, she's got to be able to complete some of those plays.
Third on Mira Hines.
Watch the steal right here by Gaines. And then the push.
Amari Robinson shooting 2.
So Gaines in double figures for Clemson now with 10. She's 4 for 5 from the field. That one goes in and out for Robinson. Catch a deep breath there. Well earned. Robinson now with 7. Minute 38 left to go in the first half. It has been back and forth. We've seen lead change after lead change. Harrison, wide open lane.
Yeah, see, there's got to be help on that strong side drive. You don't like to leave the three-point shooter in the corner, but there's got to be a shooter in the corner. And I'm not sure Wake Forest personnel was a shooter in the corner.
34 all now. Matty Ott thought about it. Robinson kicks back out to Washington. 10 on the shot clock. Robinson trying to find room underneath. Washington backdoor cut for Nunu Bradford. Wow.
What a play.
What a pass.
What a read.
That was an amazing find. Spear. That was poked away from behind by Washington. I think it might have got Hank in the face. Nia Becker right back the other way, though. And Becker off the backboard, no good. And a wrestle forward on the ground, jump ball, possession of Wake Forest.
Possession goes to the Demon Deacons.
Watch Wake Forest work off this screening action right here. This is Bradford. Just get a clip of her, just a piece, and Matty Ott has help responsibility on that. It's a good take off the bounce by Harrison.
Just about a 12-second difference. Bobbled by Spear, picks it up and will miss the three. Spear 1 for 5 from long range this afternoon, but she'll keep shooting. Step back from Washington. Nice pass once again. Finds Hank cutting in the lane. And at the buzz of the half-court shot, no good. Good finish to the half from Clemson. But it has been back and forth action, Debbie, here.
I love it. I love the changing multiple looks by Clemson, the change inside a game. So that's where I think her mindset has been this year, and it's a big part of why she's been able to have success. And Wake Forest is going to start out in a zone, maybe to protect some of that foul trouble, Sam.
A couple of players with 2+ fouls for Wake Forest, as that one's knocked out of bounds. I'll tell you, a player who has been on the top of the scouting report for a while has been Delisha Washington, and yet she has, with that maturity, been able to find ways to get points.
And this is not a great three-point shooting team, Wake Forest. There's the best three-point shooter right there, so you have to locate her.
What an offensive rebound there for Delisha Washington, now in double figures.
Amanda Butler's team, Clemson makes less than 5 threes a game, but that is a tremendous offensive rebound. Here comes the trap and the turnover.
Mari Robinson in the open floor. Bounce pass to Washington. In and out. Just couldn't finish. And that foul might come back to haunt Clemson a little bit later in the game. Long way from the basket.
I think that's the first or maybe the second turnover that Wake Forest has had in that trapping ball screen defense by Amanda Butler's team. You got to keep the ball in the middle third. She dribbled towards the sideline. That helped Clemson be able to turn it over.
Coach Butler and Clemson spent a lot of time in morning walkthroughs on that trap. And Wake Forest, at times, has been able to break it. We saw them break it pretty frequently in the first half.
Yeah, ball stays in the middle third. It's not the first pass, it's the second. Get you a layup.
First points for Olivia Sumiel and Wake Forest today.
And conversely, Sam, we know Jen Hoover's team was well prepared for that chaos, frenetic defensive pace that double ball screen defense is supposed to create.
Kaya Harrison finds an opening but can't finish. And Kiki Gaines now leading the break. It's been a lot of transition ball here today. A couple of misses, though, on both sides to open us up in the third quarter. 4-point lead for Clemson. Nia Becker now had an excellent first quarter, but has kind of gone quiet.
Good help there in the paint that forced her to change her shot.
Still with 10 points, though. Washington, floater.
Money.
I'll tell you, she can really turn the Jets on in the second half. It's almost like she comes out of the locker room and finds another gear. See if Jewel Spear can find another gear. Nice move in the paint. And once again, Kiana Gaines almost hesitated to push there, but then turned the Jets on. Got blocked from behind from Kai Harrison. But
watch Wake play out of this double team right here. The stretch, here comes the trap. You stretch it back, you throw it to the middle, and then you throw it right down the gut to the front of the rim. It's nice work by Jen Hoover's team.
Robinson coming off that curl, and the hands were over from Sumiel.
You know, when you've been around the league as long as I have, I know that Barbara and Steve Butler are at home watching this game, rooting for their daughter Amanda, and Carol Hoover is also pulling for her daughter. Carol Mitchell, I should say. Jen Hoover. Hoover's her married name. Those parents are on the edge of their seat when their daughters are coaching their teams.
Two teams that were postseason teams, by the way, last year, with Clemson in the WNIT and Wake Forest making it to the NCAA tournament for the first time since Jen Hoover was playing. Been a little different of a script so far this year, however, for both sides. Clemson extending this lead now, but there you say the zone once again.
But you know, they can trap out of this zone as well, so it's the unpredictability that keeps you off balance. You got to go inside out.
It's good ball movement. The shot wouldn't fall for Sumiel. Washington once again just taking over the game. She can do that. And a timeout for Jen Hoover and company as Clemson has stretched the lead to 10. It's a 6-0 run into Alicia Washington. Who else?
Nice of you. It would be so humbling to be able to be included on that class of 22. There's so many great candidates, but I can tell you right now, Barbara Kennedy, I would be remiss if I didn't mention her name while I'm sitting in her house. What a great lady, and the all-time leading scorer in the history of the ACC and the all-time leading rebounder. She is represented and honored in this building, and she did so much service to Clemson University and the ACC during her time as a player and as an administrator here. And I hope one day Barbara Kennedy Dixon, who we send our prayers to her family as she rests in peace, and we miss her, and it would be great to see her in the Hall of Fame one day.
So again, that'll be Monday at halftime. Here's Sid Standifer for three, another talented freshman for Clemson off the mark. Elise Williams in the break, and the basket will count. So an and one opportunity here.
It's a really good take right here by Williams. When you don't see two hips and two shoulders and you're coming full speed down the floor, you're trying to get to the rim. Nobody stops the ball. She rebounds. Washington can't get in front of her. Gaines has got to help stop the ball. Instead, the ball gets all the way to the rim. You know, it's great because I had that conversation with you and I did with Amanda this morning about, you know, I was talking about transition defense and about zone principles in transition defense, then matching up. And she said that's kind of the way we play. Protect the bucket, stop the ball, and the other three people are in the middle getting ready to match up. Like a 1-3-1. Thought it was interesting. I love talking ball with the coaches.
I was saying we should just have a film session with you and coaches like they do in college football. There's Sid Standifer knocking down the three. She can do that.
Well, she's doing her job. That's what she comes in the game to do, right?
Know your role. Morra, offensive rebound of the putbacks. It's one of her roles for Wake Forest. Brings them back within 6 points, excuse me.
Do you feel the level rising just a tad in here? I can sense both coaches and their teams. You know, you don't want to wait till the fourth quarter. You got to keep this within 2 or 3 possessions if you're Wake.
A little hesitation from Spear, got the foul, and it's an offensive foul at that on Jewel Spear. That's going to be her third.
Remember I said she doesn't take bad shots, and I'm not sure that wasn't one. I mean, I've been studying her and watching her because she's such a prolific scorer. She gets past the first level. You got to read the second. Hannah Hank is established in legal guarding position outside the restricted area. That is a terrific defensive play.
Second charge that Hannah Hank is taking today. And again, it's kind of those things that don't necessarily always show up in the stat sheet. A player like Hannah Hank will get you some possessions back.
Oh my goodness, you have to take her on that clear out. You got Jewel Spear with foul trouble.
Washington, a long three, able to cash in on it.
I mean, she's made 14 threes in ACC play, only 1 in the non-conference. That's amazing that she has added that to her game this late in her career. It's not consistent, but she can make them. She makes 1 a game. That's good enough for Amanda Butler.
All right, well, the three in place. Sometimes she has to be creative if it doesn't work out, and we saw it there firsthand. Now she got 17.
You're absolutely right. It's unscripted, right?
Yeah.
It happens because you read. Now Clemson comes back, shows some zone.
Good look to Sumiel, spins around, and the shot's off the mark.
She needed to finish that as soon as it got in her hands.
Bradford has it stuffed in a jump ball.
You know, when Clemson moves the ball and doesn't stay on the same side of the floor, they get a second side or a third side, then they drive and attack a closeout. That's really hard to guard. for anyone in the ACC, not just Wake Forest. Because the speed, the athleticism, the temperament that they play with on this end of the floor definitely gets them going offensively.
Morra dumps down to Scruggs. Extra pass to Harrison. Too many steps.
Harrison didn't even need to go to the other side of the basket. It's a layup.
Tenth turnover, Washington. A little heat check there. Bit too strong, and Becker leading the break. Nia Becker now. Short jumper off the mark. Out of bounds, and it will stay with Wake.
You got a 4-on-2. You have to convert that.
Veronica Hip back into the game. Nunu Bradford to the bench. Harrison taking it out underneath. Wake Forest got to find some offense here. It's been a bit of a dry spell. Just 9 points so far in the third quarter. Nia Becker, nice shot fake. Gets to the baseline. Jumper too strong. Last touch by Wake Forest. Excuse me, that's going to be a foul actually called.
You know,
Scruggs.
Hey, Sam, after Becker went 4 for 4 to start the game, she's 0 for her last 4.
A one-on-one full court pressure, and Washington just asked for a little post move there.
She has really tightened up her handle. She's worked on her face-up skills. Delisha Washington. When she was a freshman, which was a long time ago, at Florida, she was on the All-SEC freshman team. She played for Amanda.
Kiki Gaines, talk about handles.
Yeah, wow. Gaines, I'm telling you, an off season with Amanda Butler and her skill development. Gaines is going to be a star in this league.
Corner three, count it for Elise Williams. Wake Forest needed that.
Now, can Wake Forest get a couple of consecutive stops here? They're not an up the line overplaying defense. They have changed their looks. Here's a foul off the ball.
It'll be the third on Eno Inyang, the freshman.
Just discarding Morra in the post. Good camera work by our crew.
Excellent work. Long day for our crew and you as well. Again, with Duke coming up at 8 p.m. here, taking on Clemson. Veronica Hip called for the foul there.
Her first, 5th team foul.
Fouls racking up here.
We had a clean first half. It's gotten a little more tighter, a little more physical, a little faster.
All right, what a college hoop doubleheader we have for you tonight right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Just talked about it. First, Elisa Canane, number 5, NC State, taking on BC at Conti Forum, 6 Eastern. Then Paolo Banchero, number 7, Duke, here at Littlejohn Coliseum, squaring off against Clemson.
Listen, Sam, NC State looked like a number 1 seed and a Final Four team, but not for 40 minutes against Georgia Tech on Monday night. They got to put 40 minutes together. Wes Moore challenging his team to get tougher. And you know what? You're going to go against a tough BC team. That's a veteran, experienced team that can play. That will not be easy for NC State tonight.
What Joanna Burnaby-McNamee has done up there. Tournament team this year. I think they've proven themselves. A couple of huge wins.
I think they are certainly in the conversation. There is no question about it. They could use a big win for their resume. NC State's trying to win their first ACC regular season title in more than 30 years. I got 2 ACC tournament, two regular season titles when I played at NC State. 1 tournament title, but we did lose in the championship twice. So we had 3 shots at it.
But you still converted, though.
We got
Still
one.
got one. Timeout for Jen Hoover. Tell you what, the ACC, it's not easy to win in this conference, and it never has been, and it never will be.
I don't think if you...
Clemson with a 54-47 lead. Fouls are starting to rack up. Here's Scruggs on a nice drive. Just couldn't finish at the rim. Washington looking to push. Clemson's turned the ball over 4 times in the last 3.5 minutes.
Good seal. Good work by Robinson off the ball. It's a 4 out, 1 in. They're letting her go to work inside, shaping up to the basketball. This is a tremendous job right here. She gets, look, the ball comes, she doesn't release the contact until the ball is where she can get it. Then she draws the foul. You got to hold that seal.
3rd on Scruggs as Robinson goes to the free throw line. 5 for 6 from the line today. Talk about Amari Robinson and what she brings to this team. It's just kind of inconsistent over her last 3 years. She's averaged 10 points and 6 rebounds, and she's on track for doing that once again.
I wonder if Kennedy is not in school today, her little sister watching her play. I bet she is. Shout out to Kennedy if you're watching. Yeah, I think Amari does a lot of things that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Look at this double team. You see Bradford put her hands on her. It's a good call by the officials. But again, Harrison over here on the sideline when she needs to be in the middle.
It's going to be 4 on Bradford. And she knew it right when she committed that foul. She will check out. Gaines will check in. Kaya Harrison has taken a couple trips to the line today, 3 for 4. All right, we have another college hoop triple header for you Saturday right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. We're featuring the second game that starts at 5 Eastern between Paolo Banchero, number 7 Duke, and Boston College, led by the Langford brothers, Makai and DeMar. Blue Devils have won 5 straight and 16-17 against the Eagles.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Duke men look like coming off that loss to Virginia at home. And Brad Brownell's team had a tough loss here, a last-second play by North Carolina. Buzzer beater with 3 seconds left to win the game.
You got to imagine that Little John's going to be packed tonight. Already got a good crowd early today. Wake Forest cuts it to 6, 56-50. There's a big 30 seconds here. Mattiot cashes in on a 3.
You talked about IQ and Delisha Washington, and there's an example of it. Your best three-point shooter spotted up in the corner, and she gets her the ball. Mattiot's not going to be able to create it on her own. She needs help getting it, and Washington delivers.
9-point lead now. Wake Forest looking for some offense. Harrison, jump stop. Morra with the offensive board. No foul called. Still got time to play with. Delisha Washington, 5 to shoot. Kick to Mattiot on the wing. Just a bit short, out of bounds. Wake Forest ball now changed to Clemson ball.
Another great lead by Washington for a step into it. Catch and shoot, 3. You got time to gather and shoot. You really don't have time to catch. I would look for Washington in the middle of the floor to tap it, tip it.
She got elevated, just couldn't get the shot off. So it was a good finish to the third quarter for Clemson. 59-50 is the score. Delisha Washington, the basketball IQ off the charts. She can score for Clemson, and It was interesting. I asked Coach Butler a couple weeks ago about what the legacy was going to be for Delisha Washington. She said, obviously, the stats are all there, but what she's done for the next group of players coming up, along with an infectious smile, is going to mean a whole lot more to this program going forward.
Well, you're still instilling culture in your fourth year, and you're still trying to demand execution and discipline and the tough love that comes with that. And I think Amanda is a tremendous teacher. I've always thought that's one of the best compliments you can give a coach. And one of the appealing things for why she's here at Clemson is because she is a student of the game, and it was something that former athletic director Dan Radakovich thought caught his eye. Her time that she spent with Brad Stevens, and there you see Ruby Whitehorn, the first McDonald's All-American that will wear a Clemson jersey. We're all looking forward to seeing that. And nobody more excited to see that than Amanda Butler.
Exactly. Kiki Gaines, wow, she can elevate and get her own rebound. So good.
Strong, athletic.
Just kind of think, like, what is the ceiling for a player like that? I don't know that there is one.
No, there's not. Not when you have that kind of athleticism. Now she's 3 for 7 from the three-point line on the season, so she's going to have to do that better. Look to take more and expand her game that way. But I say that about players that are athletic like that, and I remind women's basketball that Simone Augustus was a 2-time Wade Trophy winner and really didn't shoot the three in college. I'm not suggesting that she's Simone Augustus. I'm just saying she did it without shooting the three, and Washington has had 2 triples. Now, I know that Jen Hoover is not really prepared for that on the scout. And if she can do that consistently towards the end of this season, playing with an incredible sense of urgency for sure.
She hit 5 in a game against Louisville a week and a half ago. That one's answered by Elise Williams there. But from what we're told, Delisha Washington's shot is getting a lot better, and that may just be confidence.
Well, and working on it, right?
That too. All facets of the game. Delisha Washington, backdoor cut for Robinson, and 1.
I'm going to say this to you, and maybe it's going to sound surprising, but I don't know why Delisha Washington hasn't had a triple-double this year.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got 20 points and 6 assists. We know she's a good rebounding guard. I wonder if she could do that in the next handful of games that she may have left in her college career. You know, we get to this time in February, and you can see it all over seniors. You know, it's the last go-around.
In and out, offensive board. Hank had it tipped out.
Watch Hannah Hank right here. These are the kind of plays I'm talking about. She, instead of Xing, she spins.
Yeah.
You got to put a body on her. That is not a very good job by Becker with a lane line advantage to box out.
You look at Hannah Hank's line, you see 7 points, 5 boards, but everything that's not on there.
Oh, wide open on the bucket.
Bradford was right there. Top of the key, 12 on the shot clock. Clemson with a 13-point lead. And I think that one's going to go against Hank. Maybe not. And it is. Going against Elise Williams. 2 players in the ACC to be in the top 10 of scoring and rebounding. The only other one is Liz Kitley for Virginia Tech.
You got to shoot that.
Tough pass for Sid Standifer, leads to a turnover. Wake Forest possession. They trail by 13. Got to find some scoring as well as some stops on the other end. Jewel Spear has gone quiet in the second half. And it's going the other way.
Yeah, Jewel Spear has stuck on 7 for a long time.
That didn't score in the third quarter.
Yep. At the half, she was 2 for 10. She's 0 for 4 in the second half. She's not hunting shots. She's not trying to get the ball in a place where she can score. The quality of her catch has to get better. But she's going to have to work without the ball, because Jen Hoover doesn't really like to start the offense with her having the ball in her hands, because it's too much of a load.
Nunu Bradford now got 6 in the game with that jumper. Three players for Clemson in double figures today, with Washington, Robinson, and Kiki Gaines.
They show zone, then they match up in a man. Oh, that's Washington's help right there. And then you leave Spear to help, and she's wide open. So if you're going to go and get that steal, you better get it. Otherwise, it's a 3. That might get Jewel Spear going.
It might. 10 points now. Again, she hadn't scored in the third quarter, and up until this point hadn't scored in the fourth.
Look at Robinson working. You got to throw the ball in there once in a while. Watch this right here. Struggs doing a good job finding the ball inside, and because Washington gambles, Clemson doesn't scramble out of that fast enough to be able to contest Jewel Spear.
And for a team that moves around so much defensively like Clemson does, Coach Butler's always lamenting on the fact we got to communicate, we got to talk. Washington on a tight curl there, shot fake, fading away.
That's tough. That is just an unguardable shot right there, because she leans away and has the athleticism to elevate over.
Double team comes over on Morra, looking for help, picked up the dribble, nearly turned it over. Williams able to get out of it. The floater won't go. There's been a couple of shots that Wake Forest has had really close to the basket that just have not fallen. Nunu Bradford, hesitation, blocked from behind by Spear.
Tell you what, Washington looks really comfortable running the point.
Robinson left wide open.
That's well executed. It's a short roll, and that's right in her scoring range.
15 points now for Amari Robinson, coming off a team-high 14.
Nice left by Morra. Now Wake's got to pick up some full court pressure here. They got to get 3 stops in a row and 3 scores.
Good post by Robinson. She got fouled.
Yep. You got to throw it in there, Sam. I mean, when you work as hard.
She's working hard.
She is shaping up. She's moving. Her timing is outstanding.
Third on Nia Becker. Robinson's been to the free throw line quite a bit today. 7 for 9. All right, Bald Men on campus every Friday night, 9 Eastern. Jay Billis, Fonz, Seth Greenberg preview the ACC slate of weekend games and have the latest news from around the conference. Only on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Kaya Harrison
Travel.
dishes one off. Not whistled for it.
You got numbers. Advance the ball with a pass.
$14-point lead. Nunu Bradford with the ball.
Now Wake only has to defend for 14 seconds of the shot clock after they get back.
Washington going to work.
Oh, my goodness. What a game.
24.
Putting on a show here in the second half.
Now guarding Spear. Morra, short jumper. Little combination play with Spear and Morra has been working for Wake Forest on this right side. But you're right, Debbie. They got to get some stops. Foul's called on Robinson, setting the screen. Third foul on Robinson. Lost the shoe. Did Bradford. Got to get back and play defense. Becker's shot is short. Spear on the follow, no good. Robinson able to wrangle it in. Nunu Bradford putting on the shoe. Alicia Washington got bumped. Oh, she almost finished that too.
You got to get in her window and keep her on one side of the floor. And look at Bradford trying to put the shoe on, trying to get into transition.
Four on Becker. Washington makes the first. Now we can talk about involvement on campus. Jay Fonseth. Preview the ACC slate of weekend games and have the latest news from around the conference only on the ACC network and the ESPN app. Harrison fouled on the way up. Anna Wenyang's been in some foul trouble whenever she's gotten in the game, unfortunately, now 4. But another talented freshman that played a big part in holding Liz Kitley to just 2 points in the game on Tuesday against Virginia Tech. That's not easy to do.
Right. That's really tough to do. But that's because Clemson can change it up. They can give you different looks. They can speed you up. They can create chaos.
Some pressure here causing problems for Clemson in the backcourt. And Harrison whistled for the foul.
Hey, Delisha Washington is on the backside of that full court pressure. And she's proven to be their best ball handler this afternoon. But I can tell you that, nothing happens by accident. There's a reason why Amanda Butler has Delisha Washington on the backside. Maybe it's because she's shooting the 3 so well. Couple of triples here in the second half.
Robinson's collected a ton of points at the free throw line. Already 10 of her 18 points at the free throw line. Another double-double for Mari Robinson. Those 11 rebounds as well. Transition 3 for Williams, no good, and there's Washington still getting in on the boards. Lost the dribble there.
Ooh, good trap. I thought she threw a bow right there. Good trap by Wake. But Jen Hoover had the same angle I had.
Yep, they're going to check on this.
I think Ed said last because I'm going to call and find out. Now I have to know.
Harrison, the blow by and a block. Just the first on Kiki Gaines, 82-64. Harrison will shoot 2. All right, fouls aside, Clemson is just 2-11 in conference play this year. How close are they, Debbie, to being in that conversation of maybe 5 wins, 6 wins? I have to imagine it's, they're not that far away from it.
They've been in several one-possession games, overtime loss to Pitt. Okay, so you think they're starting to trend in the right direction, right, with Clemson? And then you got to see them in the ACC tournament on your side of the bracket.
Right.
They're not going to like that.
No.
Because they're going to make you work for 40 minutes.
Coach Butler able to get a timeout in there. Down to one timeout left in the game for Clemson as they lead 82-65.
Bye. You got to get there.
It is huge.
Because it's going to be, this year, it's going to be incredibly difficult to be able to win 4 games in a row to win the ACC title. If you have the double bye, you got to win 3.
Bradford with the and 1.
It's just been all downhill second half for Clemson. Amanda Butler has done a terrific job coming out of the locker room. Delisha Washington's play in the second half. Kiana Gaines is going to be a really good player in this league. Even Standifer, who came in and knocked down a triple, has done what she's supposed to do.
Standifer will check back into the game.
I know the Clemson fans are hoping this is foreshadowing for a game in here tonight at 8 o'clock when the Blue Devils come in.
Now, if they can put up 85 against Duke, not only will you have a really good game, but you will have a very angry Coach K.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit upset about the Virginia loss.
I'd imagine so. Harrison able to connect on the 3 there.
You can run the baseline. Now there's 3 players. Now you got to pass it, move it, because you got numbers on the other side.
Oh. Oh, quick shot from Michaela Elmore, but time winding down. Clemson in the driver's seat here. A Spear falling away, long 2.
We're going to review that, whether it was a 2 or a 3.
Clemson on the verge of picking up their 3rd conference win of the year. Foul called against Elise Williams there.
Well, Clemson hasn't handled the press very well at all. Something to put a marker down for us. Skylar Blackstock checks in, the senior who got on scholarship this year. Skylar's from my hometown in Mount Pleasant. Went to Wandale High School with my son, Frankie. Her grandparents are here. You're not going to find anybody that works harder or does their role any better than Skylar Blackstock for Clemson.
That was great, too. That just seeing her get the scholarship and her teammates jumping on her, that was awesome.
She is trying to decide where she's going to go to law school, so she's taken full advantage of an opportunity to be a part of a team. And whoever gets her in law school is going to be really lucky. Rumor has it she aced the LSAT.
Wow. Not an easy test.
It's great to see Skylar get rewarded with a few minutes. She was actually a camper of mine at
college. Again, talking about it as a team that could be in the NCAA tournament this year. Kiki Gaines lost the dribble. Wake Forest now. Nia Becker bounce pass to Sumiel. Can't finish. And foul. Fans are not happy with fouling with 49 seconds to go. Right. Yeah. So you don't get the voucher till after the game is done. 1 for 2 for Kiki Gaines. Another strong game for her, matching a season high of 18.
Christina Morra. Timeout call by the Tigers.
Coach Butler will opt to call a timeout and use the final timeout, 87-75.
No, Clemson played really well. They needed one more possession.
More trap from Wake Forest as time winds down here.
Well, this is going to be incredible film work for Amanda Butler and her team and staff tomorrow, and she's not happy about it, and I don't blame her. I mean, you get a chance to play, you got to perform. Maybe Jen Hoover might have to rethink whether she should press a little bit more, because they've done it well.
Knocked out by Elmore, will stay with Wake Forest, 17.7 to go.
It was 20 points just a couple of minutes of game time ago. Now it's 12.
Sumiel steps inside the three-point line, down to Morra. Left-hand shot, no good. And it will stay with the Demon Deeks. Yeah, there's no question that Amanda Butler is going to have this last 2 minutes or so on film for tomorrow. Jewel Spear stepping back. Tried to toss that leg out there, try to get some contact, but it fell. Spear's got 18. The 18 points of Jewel Spear, not enough to take down Clemson here today as the Tigers pick up their third conference win this season, 87-78.